So I want to welcome everybody to Sid. I have been so excited about this interview. Like I've been following Sid for a minute, and a lot of you all have said, like, I want to have these conversations. I'm like, we need to get someone who knows what they're talking about, is and someone who I'm in community with. Like I consider me and you, like following you, engaging in your
Yeah.
stuff, like a little online community. I've learned so
Yeah.
much from you and Deshaun. So I just want to introduce you all to Sid. And Sid, you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your pronouns.
Okay. Hello. I am Sydney Sky. You can call me Sydney, Sid, Sky, whatever. My pronouns are she, they. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm in esthetician school. I'm a freelance writer, and I think as far as now, that's it. I'm a fat activist. I guess the most important part. I'm dead. Uh, like I don't know. I think that's it as far as like just the basic things. I'm 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really love your article. The article that you wrote for Where Your Voice. And it touched me because I was honest. There's something I have been saying in my YouTube videos a couple of times and stuff, especially doing insecure. So when you wrote it, you were
Yeah.
detailed about it. And I shared it on my Patreon for everybody who not. I told everybody, I said, y'all need to read it. I forgot what was the title of it for you. What was the title? It was the sassy.
The sassy fat black friend trope.
Okay. What
Yeah.
inspired you to write that article? Was it been something you've been thinking? You said, what was the thing that just said, that tipped you over and said, you know what, I'm gonna put this on some paper. Like I'm finna
Mo
discuss this.
Moesha coming back out.
Oh
Moesha coming
yeah.
back out.
It's been
Yeah.
a
And it was
year.
just like, yeah, I was like, okay, no, this is it. Because it was like a slow thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I put like pieces together because I watch a lot of TV, I watch a lot of movies. And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, I was just like, okay, well, the way they treat Kim really is about the same way they treat Kelly. And then I'm like, wait, Dejanay? And I'm like, well, are we like, I just kind of like just starting, I guess for me, I started to look at, okay, all the fat black characters I like. I'm just like
Mm-hmm.
thinking about it. And then when I started to think about it, I was like just seeing characteristics that they all like share. And I still even like do it today, like just watching something. I'm like, ooh, like they follow the same thing. So that's really how it went.
Yeah, I think I definitely paid attention to it, but when I like read your article, made me go back to all of it because in the beginning, like years ago, I used to talk about it with just as far as colorism. So then when I saw your article, I said, yes, this is definitely what this is because I never really watched the Proud Family. Like there was some stuff early back in that just made me cringe.
Yeah.
Like it was just
Mm-hmm.
something I could not put a name to it. I'm just like, why are these characters blue? Like what's going on
Yeah.
with that, and this continued trope of being this funny fat
Yeah.
friend and stuff. And I can honestly admit to me being put in that
Right.
throughout my
Yeah.
life. Like the times, like
Yeah.
I've gained weight when I got out, when I kind of moved to Atlanta. Like I kind of, oh,
Mm-hmm.
did it go out? Can you? Okay. When I moved to Atlanta, like I started to gain weight, and it was something I had kind of struggled throughout like my years or whatever. But this is the largest weight I've been at. So I started to notice. I was like, I've always been that funny, charismatic person, but I noticed even more like people would place me in these things
Yeah.
without my consent. And I
Mm-hmm.
honestly was thinking of a term for it the other day. I was like, I'm not your big belly therapist. Like
Yeah.
you thinking just because I'm supposed to be your caretaker or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had this conversation with friends when we go out and how it feels to be in a club or any other space where
Mm-hmm.
we're supposed to be having fun. And it's just like y'all all getting all this attention. And
And
it's
you in the corner, like,
like I'm holding the drink, I'm out here holding a lot, like I'm
yeah.
like, girl, what's the
Yeah.
tea? And I
Right.
find that weird because it feels like it happens like when we're in those spaces, but then
Mm-hmm.
we're on apps like Tinder and other dating apps, like these same folks will approach me. Like they will be
Mm-hmm.
interested in approaching me. I'm just like,
Yeah.
why don't I get this type of attention when I'm
In
in these
public.
settings?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Especially with like the friends at the club. Like, I think I've come out more about that with my friends, and I'm like, I don't think they notice that. I'm like, when we go out, people hitting on y'all. They try to dance on y'all. Like, they complimenting y'all. Like, I get compliments here and there. Oh my God, your makeup is so cute. Oh, like your outfit. But they hitting on y'all. Like, and even at like, you know, gay black places, they're still hitting on y'all. So it's just, it's definitely weird. And I think I felt that way since I was like younger because I've been fat,
Hmm.
I think, for most of my life. So
Hmm.
even like middle school and high school, like, it definitely was like that. Because even I think to the point of like in high school and prime, like I didn't have a date, and so everyone else did. And so I think I took a lot of that and was like, oh my God, like no one even go to prom with me because I'm not, thin. But yeah, it's just been like that for my whole life. And like you said, I get put in that space, and I get like resentful sometimes too. And sometimes I just have to think like, like this is, it's not my friend's fault, but I also sometimes feel like I need them to acknowledge that and to not be like, oh no, you cute, this person said something to you, this person cat called you. I'm like, cat calling me is not the same as saying, hey, can I buy you a drink? That's not the
Just seeing me,
same.
just seeing me.
Yeah, right.
So I definitely feel when you still like that resentment of trying to have a conversation with our friends and like, hey, this is the thing that is going on. I have noticed it. And I've had other friends point out like stuff, like I've had like Deshaun has pointed out stuff with my friends, and trying to like, hey, this what you're saying is fat phobic. How you engage with people.
Hmm.
Like I'll never forget. I was sitting on like we was all sitting in the living room of my house, and one of my friends was on Tinder. He was just swiping, and this fat dark skinned person showed up. This fat dark skinned guy showed up on Tinder, and he kind of slowed down, and I looked over and I said, girl, don't be trying. Go ahead and keep swiping like you've been doing. Don't don't be out here faking the because I'm sitting over you. And he was like, damn,
Yeah.
on the spot. Because I know what you're doing. Like this shit that you're doing is
Hmm.
performative as fuck. I want
Yeah.
to really like gather why is it that you are not interested in even looking at this person? Like, what is that?
Right.
And
Hmm.
it just becomes
Yeah.
like a I don't want to teach 24/7 around my friends.
No, no, I'm not. I refuse. Like my friends, like me and my activism and me online and the Sydney Zeno are like two different people. I'm like, look, no, I don't want to discuss that. And when I do, I'm like you. I'm looking at them like, so, so what's your opinion? Because like I think a couple weeks ago, I brought up something about Sweetie, and one of the colorist light skinned girls. One of them. I don't
There's
know
a
which
whole bunch
one.
of them.
Oh,
I'm gonna move over
Mulatto.
because I got the little halo thing going on. So I'm gonna move over
Okay.
here.
It was Mulatto, something with her. And I was just
Okay.
talking junk in the car. And one of my light skinned friends didn't make no remarks. And I'm like, so personally, if you don't make no remarks telling me, showing me as something that you are not colorist, I'm gonna just assume you colorist. So ever since then, I just been like, yeah. So I get that. It's just like, I just wish my friends were more aware, and they have been. But like you said, I'm just not here to always constantly be teaching people. Like, I don't want to do that. I
Especially
don't
when we're not
like,
getting paid for it.
no, I'm tired.
We need to be compensated for this because,
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be in a situation where we're asked to do things and
Yeah.
like, what are you doing to protect me? What are you doing to
Right.
compensate me for my time? Because these are things that I have learned from bad experiences, and I also
Mhm.
doing the readings and studying and trying to figure out. So I'm not gonna just be giving like doing all of this. Like it's already expected of me
Right.
because
Right.
like y'all see me as this teacher, this caretaker, and all of these things. Um, I did want to talk about. I know we talked about desirability. What do you think your definition? What is your definition of a desirability?
Ooh, I think desirability is always like a hard thing for me to pin down.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of see desirability as like boxes, I guess. Do you hit certain boxes? Are you white? Are you thin? Are you non-disabled? Are you cis? Like, I just see it as boxes. Are you dark skinned? And so for me, it's like you gain certain things when you fit certain boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're thin, of course, you're going to gain some things that fat people aren't going to get. If you're light skin, you're going to gain something. So I kind of see it like that. And I see it as those who don't hit boxes are punished and are discriminated against and are pushed down for it.
Okay, that to me
So I
that
think that's how I guess desirability. Yeah.
okay, that I like how
Because
you.
I feel like, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh no. I think the internet connection has slowed down a little bit, so I thought you had paused for a second. But
Oh,
the boxes make sense because it's just like check, check, like
yeah.
you are getting this. And I think sometimes when I have this conversation, I think folks don't really understand when we say desire. They kind of get it mixed up with like pretty
Mm-hmm.
privilege, which I hate that term.
Yeah,
I
please.
hate that term because
I hate that so much. And I feel like I hate because they bring it up and I feel so bad for complaining about it every time. But I'm like, it is literally 2021. Can you please stop saying that? Like, please, I hate that. Like, most of y'all not that pretty. I just not, it's not like it never. I saw handsome privilege and I said, okay,
have some privilege.
I Clubhouse had a room that said pretty and handsome privilege. And I
You
said,
already lost me
it's
at
time for us to
Clubhouse. I
go.
haven't been on Clubhouse in probably like 2 weeks.
I've been on this here and there. It's something. I don't know what Clubhouse is gonna turn into. It's interesting, to say the least.
Colonizing houses, what somebody needs to call it. It just doesn't seem like it's a safe space for people.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I am there for mess, just to listen to mess. Like, what's this?
You be in the room.
But yeah, I just be listening. Like, oh, what y'all fighting about? But other times I'm like, okay, no, this is horrible. It's either or. I'm either laughing like this is hilarious, or I'm like, this is horrible. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So we talked about
Clubhouse.
desirability. I wanted to read some of these questions that I had from some of my patrons who were like, I want to know what they think about this. I want to know because when I talk about fat phobia, and I've been talking about it on the Real Housewives of Atlanta reviews because we are entering this time where the folks who are on TV on these reality shows have gained weight because of the pandemic,
Right.
and they keep discussing it. They keep discussing it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like really triggering for me to constantly hear how y'all hate y'all bodies so much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read off some of the questions if you are ready for them.
Okay.
So one of the questions is from Amber. In January, I always make goals to be a healthier version of myself, but I think I blurred the lines between healthy criticism to self-bashing and fat phobia. How do you distinguish between healthy goals and toxic? Okay.
Okay. I think a lot of people like have that like blurred line. I think it's easy to slip too sometimes. I think for one, I think it's easy to get caught up in this January making over of oneself, and you don't have to do that. Like, you can start your health journey and improve your health however whenever you want to do it. So I don't think January should be this rush for you. But also I think just looking at health and not just physically and setting goals, like small ones. It could just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go to bed early tonight, and that's a health goal. It could just be, you know what, I'm gonna meditate tomorrow if I can. And if you don't, that's fine. Try it the next day. So I think when we say health goals and when it's toxic or not, it's take thinness out. Just again, I take thinness out the equation. If thinness wasn't in this equation of health, well, what does health look like for you? If it's not thinness, so what is it? Is it, being able to wake up early? Is it, going to therapy? Is it, feeling more confident about yourself? Is it being able to finish a dance? Like, it just depends. I think it's hard for me to tell you, I guess, what your health goals are, but just look at it like, do you want weight loss, or do you want thinness, or do you want health? And look at if
Hold on, your mic went out. Your mic went out. Hold on, what is it?
Is it better?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay, I'm dead. I saw on a TV show like your mic went out and they be on there telling somebody off. Your
I
mic,
knew that
your mic
Popeye
is
said, girl, she gonna have to connect the mic gonna have to connect again.
out. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like, again, just take. I think it's hard for us to imagine like going on a health journey that's not about us becoming smaller, but just say to yourself, well, what do I want my health to look like? Now, if your health looks like being smaller, then again, examine that. Why does your health? Why does health look like being smaller to you? Or does health look like, again, being able to eat 3 times a day or 4 times a day, or how much you need to eat? Or is it listening to your body and listening to your hunger cues? Or again, just stretching, just anything,
Mhm.
just to make yourself feel better. I feel like it's health goals, things that make you feel better, things that help you survive, things that help you thrive and live. Like I see that as health goals. And I think weight loss, it's just not a health goal.
It's not, and it's actually very, to me, it's very unhealthy because as many times if I've went on like, diets and all these other things, it's just I'm never very consistent. Like I probably do it for like 2, 3 weeks. And this was in the past, but it's just this is not healthy for me to be out here like continuously like starving myself and not even being told that I have any health related issues by these doctors or whatever.
Right.
It's just like you look like this and you look like this and you're
Mm-hmm.
making certain people feel uncomfortable um,
Right.
because they don't like to see fat folks like they like, girl, you need to be losing some weight even if there are no things that my fatness like has anything to do with any of my health. It's
Right.
just I've been noticing that I don't have high
Mm-hmm.
blood pressure, I don't have all of these things, but I've been constantly been told you need to lose weight and I'm just like,
Right.
why?
Yeah, they can't give you a reason why, and the reason why is like, oh, diabetes, oh, this, oh, that, and I'm like, well, these are all things that anybody can get, depending on everything, their lifestyle, their family history,
Mhm.
like where you are in the world, where you're located, where you live. So I'm just like, okay, it no, yeah, it's frustrating, especially with doctors, especially right now. It's like we are in a health crisis already, and yet people are still not questioning our
Mhm.
health system as a whole, because clearly it failed us. I mean, yeah, the government failed us, but so has our health system, and so has like so many other things. So I think I it's frustrating right now to see people, I guess, like I said, just not question how we view health and how we engage health, especially as a society.
Yeah, I think I talked about that yesterday. How we were already like open when COVID came here. COVID wasn't the
Hmm.
reason why, all the things is because our healthcare system is struggling. Like you have, it's for profit. Like these hospitals don't have enough beds because why would I'm trying to make some money? So why would I have
Right.
100 beds available and all of these things
Right.
when I need to be making money? So
Yeah, because they don't plan on treating everybody. That's never been the plan. No.
no, no, it's not
No.
good. So, like Sid said, question that. So, someone Advice Queen asked, "What is fat phobia exactly?"
Um, I describe fat phobia in like use terms as um uh discrimination against fat people. That can mean interpersonal, even personal, systematically, within communities. Just that's how I see it. Or the fear and hate of fat people and fatness.
Hmm. And I had this conversation with a friend earlier today, and for some reason he felt like he needed to send me a tweet. Well, he didn't send it to me. He was thinking about sending me a tweet because some thin person was trying to describe thin phobia or something, and
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I was like,
Okay.
girl, I'm so glad that you didn't send that to me because there's no such thing.
Yeah. Okay. Like I personally like stop. I stop acknowledging like because I find that so derailing when thin people do stuff like that, and I find it purposely derailing. So I'm just like I'm not about to entertain this whole like oh thin phobia. No one is afraid of you. No one hates you for being thin. Not a single person. No
And
one
you
is
don't
like
get no
oh you
press for being
thin.
thin.
You're not. You're not. You're getting paid more than me. You're getting access to more healthcare than me. You can be in public. You can exist in public more than me, depending on where you're at. Because
And eat
sometimes
in
you can't
public
fit.
too.
Yeah, like you can't. It's like you can exist. You know, you can exist in that size and it'd be okay.
Yeah, because I always used to think about every time I see, food commercials, I never see someone who looks like me enjoying food. I'm always seeing thin first. I was like, girl, she ain't really eating this. I was like, like I was watching WandaVision and Wanda was not eating. I said, Wanda is
Oh
not
my.
eating. Why is she pretending that fruit look good? But yes,
Yeah.
I definitely was like, girl, like it's not a thing. You're not oppressed. Like, yes, you can be
Yeah.
like a little bit insecure. We all have insecurity.
Yeah.
We all,
Right.
we all have them, and I be noticing that too. When folks are always in the gym, they
Hmm.
have insecurities,
Yeah.
and
Gym
they're
culture is horrible.
yeah, and their
Yeah.
insecurities be very unhealthy to me.
Y-
Folks who are constantly in
Yeah.
the gym, all like
Hmm.
that's a lot to me. But that's another conversation. I'm gonna move
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next question. The next question is from Chris. Chris says, is wanting to lose weight because you're not happy with your appearance rooted in fat phobia? Is it possible to want to boost your self-esteem and have it not be rooted in bigotry or self-hatred?
Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, you can. I don't. No one's telling you, "Ooh, you liking yourself oppresses me." No one says that. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can. I think again, what the problem is here is you're not asking questions. You have to ask yourself questions. Like, losing weight to like yourself, you know, you don't deserve that. And nine times out of 10, you're just going to gain it back. So once you start basing your self esteem on your weight, you're going to spend your whole life just just fighting yourself about that because now you lose weight and you're like, oh, I like myself, I love myself. When you gain it, it's a horrible cycle that you don't deserve to be in. But also, ooh, lost my train of thought. It was something else actually really important. Um, yeah, I also think it's, let's be honest, most of the time you are more confident when you lose weight because people like you more. You get
Mhm.
praised for that. You're literally getting praised for that, and praise feels good. So
Yeah.
of course you're like, oh yeah, I'm more confident because people aren't treating you like shit. People are praising you for being thinner,
Mhm.
and yeah, like you feel more comfortable in a fat phobic world because you're smaller. So yeah, you have room to be more confident now. So yeah, I think you can love yourself and learn to love yourself without fat phobia. And I think again, if you have to lose weight to boost your confidence, that's that's coming from a place of fat hate.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, that's coming from a place of not wanting to be large. And you have to ask yourself, well, why? Why don't I like my body when I gain weight? Why don't I like my body when it's fat? And be honest about it. Do you not like how people treat you? Because I mean, yeah, same. Or is it you actually you wanting to like your body? I just think you just have to ask yourself questions. I think a lot of questions with fat hate is a lot of self-reflection on how you do your own body. So much self-reflection on how you interact with other bodies and how you view your body even when it changes, because I'm not saying you have to love yourself 24/7 because you're not. I don't 24/7. I'm not a confident person 24/7. Confident now because I got all the stuff on, but nine times out of
But who
10, when I put,
that's a lot of people are like that. And I think that happens.
yeah,
I find myself sometimes when, having conversation with very close, like even my mother, like I slip up and say, hey, like my stomach big or something like that. And it's just,
yeah,
see, I knew you didn't like yourself and you need to lose the
like,
weight. I'm just like, girl, this is this
mm,
1 minute, minutes
yeah,
out of the whole 24
mm,
hour day that I said this. It's like you're waiting
yeah,
on me to acknowledge that. And I'm just like, we
mhm,
all have insecurities
yeah,
and everything. Like we all of you,
mhm,
like, like this full disclosure, my mother is on a keto diet, unfortunately.
mm. I can't wait for that to end.
Whew, I'm
That
so
trend to go.
Oh, when I tell you it was so triggering to have her here and constantly talk about, I don't eat no bread. I can't, how much sugar in it. I almost snapped because I had got these cookies that are really
Mhm.
fucking good. They ain't some good ass. And I ordered her the keto cookie and she just like, how much sugar is in it? I'm just like, if they say it's keto, it's fucking keto. Like I'm not gonna call and ask them for no 1-2 cookies. Are you
Yeah, it's
serious?
just not the way to live. Like, I'm not trying to live like that.
That
Like,
shit
food
was.
tastes too good.
I
Like, let's
can't
be
do it.
honest. Be honest. It tastes good. Eat it. I'm just not living like that. I'm not living like that. I refuse. I think that's also why I got diet. I was like, yeah, I don't have to do that. I'm not about to do that.
Period. Because even when we were sitting down, she had drunk a little wine. She was feeling herself. Started talking. She was just like, and I want you to get control. I said, you need to mind your own business.
Control. Yeah, I hate that. Like stuff like that. It's like control. Like I don't have to like get control. That's just like, yeah, my brain goes on the thing and I'm like, it's just certain terms when people say things like fat phobic conversation, my brain just goes like gearing and I'm like, but what does that really mean? I'm just
That's really bad. And then
I'm like, Yala, let's talk about this.
then the moment you start going at their ass, then they just like, well, you're getting so defensive. No, I'm letting you know what the fucking facts are because you don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah. And
Y'all out here
it's
talking
black.
about y'all out here talking about all this shit, and then the environment killing our asses. Like
Literally everything. Like we in a pandemic. I'm eating. I'm sorry.
and I fucked Twitter.
I'm eating.
Okay.
I don't know what to let you know. I'm eating. I don't know what to say. It was like, you gained a few pounds since the last time. I'm like, yeah, I'm eating. I'm not going nowhere. So it is what it is.
Period. I'm gonna enjoy myself while I'm here. So I have another question from Faith Butler. Faith asks, I would love to see y'all discuss fat fetish. Well, she's kind of sound like it's a statement. Or it's a question. I would love to see y'all discuss fat fetish and how it dehumanizes people, especially women. Is it even really a thing? Your thoughts? So I guess it's my being a fat fetish.
That question was weird at the end. It was like, okay, is it even real? I was like, okay. I was like, I don't like. It was. I love questions. I'm like, okay, I don't know how to read this.
It sounds like Faith is asking,
like,
can someone love someone for being fat and it not be a fetish?
Yeah. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah. Absolutely. And once again, absolutely, all these things are possible. Like, I don't know. It's like like we just personally put limitations on how we see fatness ourselves. So it's just like, yeah, absolutely, you can absolutely love somebody who's fat, and you can actually love their fatness too.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a limit between sterilization and actually loving me and loving me for my body. So it's and when it's a difference. Like this, I guess I'm gonna say because other fat people, I can just say no when it's sterilization and when it's actually loving you for you. And you usually know initially because usually it's how they come at you or they start acting weird. So yeah, and I think fetishization, I can't speak for all fat Black women because it's such a diverse conversation still, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say for me personally, it feels dehumanizing. You start to feel like just dirty and you start to feel like, well, maybe this is the only way I can get affection or love. Sometimes you play into it and you feel like, okay, well, it's very real. It's very real. Even people online who do it, I think people who even are under my comments, like, oh, you're so confident and that kind of stuff, it's still fetishy. Yeah, or people who are like, you're gonna, like, fat Black women are gonna save us. Still fetishy. It's still weird. Like,
I just want to leave me the fuck alone.
It's a selfie. Like, it's just a selfie.
I'm just taking a picture. I'm not trying to save the world. Like, I'm just
literally
taking a picture. I'm gonna get my ass in the bed afterwards. Like that's it. It made me think about this experience I had with this gym body man who likes fat folks. He likes dating fat guys or whatever. And I felt like he would prey on like fat folks, like fat guys, because it's just like, oh my gosh, like this gym body person is interested in me.
Oh yeah.
And I was really thinking, I was just like, you have to kind of understand the power dynamics in that and coming in dating it, because these men will swoon over you, because it's just like, how often do you see someone like a gym body person, which they do, but for you to constantly, like, I hate when folks say, well, I love fat niggas. Okay.
Okay. Like, I be trying to hold my tongue on Twitter because I'm like, I want y'all to have y'all fun. I swear I do. But every time I'm like, all right, the cookie, like you don't get like, what do you want? What
That's
do you
so
want from me?
weird.
Call a cookie lady. I don't know what you want from me. Okay, like you don't get badges and yeah, okay, you like fat people. All right, thank you for seeing me as a human being
That
worth
shit doesn't
loving.
solve a whole bunch, like
Nothing.
a whole bunch of people, like better size and fatness. Like that's not going to save us. Like
Yeah, I don't care.
I,
Thanks.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I guess.
That
Thank
ain't
you.
gonna give me a job.
So my other faves commented and said, I would love to. Demario said, I would love to see discussing anti-fatness and desirability and dating. I think we covered that a little bit. I think I just did it when dating.
Yeah.
Um, some gym body gay men.
Mhm.
I've noticed that a lot of them, kind of make it known like I am non-fat and I find
Mhm.
fat people attractive and then you can see them enjoying the
Mhm.
flock of these folks. And I'm like, do y'all even really like them or you like them because they seem like they're like desperate almost? Because
Yeah, like
there's
you
a lot of
said,
folks
it's
who
a
do
power
that.
dynamic. Yeah, it's a power dynamic because you know you have more like social capital than this fat
Mhm.
person. You know that like you said that some fat people still have like internalized fat phobia that they're trying to deal with, and they prey on that absolutely because men I've dated do the same thing. Like yeah. Or even like older men who prey on like fat younger girls too, because they see how they're neglected, they see how people treat them, and it's easy to prey on them. So yeah, people sometimes see that power dynamic of where fat people are and where they are. They know that society is going to treat you like crap. They know that doesn't matter how I treat you because they're going to side with me or not believe you, or they're going to tell you to whatever. You should be happy that they like you anyway. So yeah, it's absolutely again about fetishizing also that power dynamic that a lot of these people really do enjoy a lot.
Yeah, I can tell with that person that it was kind of stroking their ego. It was kind of doing something for them. It just
Mhm.
made me seriously uncomfortable because I said to myself, if what happens in a situation where I am, I lose a lot of weight, and
Mhm.
like for whatever reason, do you still like me, or do you only like me for this? Like I'm still a person at the end of the day.
Right.
Like I'm a human being, and vice versa. If a person is thin and gain weight, like
Mhm.
like Deshaun says, who are you without your body?
Right. Exactly. And a lot of people gonna have to ask for that. Answer for that. They don't know. They was mad at that one. What you mean?
Oh, they don't. And I think I talked about this when I was talking about Danny Lay or whatever her name is. You have no talent, sis. You have no talent. You not
Listen.
known for anything other than just being light skinned.
Mhm.
Like
A
I
lot of
don't
these
know
light
what
skinned
you
girls
do.
don't. A lot of these light skinned rap girls don't have it, and I'm waiting for their day. I'm like, can we hurry up? Because they just don't have it, and I'm tired of seeing them. Not naming names. I don't. I'm not gonna be on Instagram arguing with me.
But you know what? You could on this platform because my folks understand. Like on Patreon, they definitely because it's something I've been talking about for the longest. And when you look at all the mainstream rap girls, all of them look the same.
And I'm uncomfortable. At some point I was kind of like, look, you say I looked around and I'm like, okay, no, 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 no. But I'm uncomfortable. Like,
It's getting weird.
yeah. I think when like Chloe and Halle did the Do It remix, and I'm like, what's all these light skinned girls on one track? Like, this it? And I'm like, y'all should have got like, what's her name? I can't even talk. I'm so on it. That little girl, Flo Millie. I'm like, she around y'all age range. That would have been a good one. And I'm like, Doja Cat, Sweetie. Oh, Mulatto. I'm like, Mulatto. Now that one bothers me.
Yeah,
Because
my foot
I
will
don't get
continue to be on Big Lotto's light
neck.
skin neck for as
Oh my
long as
God.
they have some type of career because it's just not making
How
it.
you walk? Because how you walk around with that name and it just, I listen, it blows my mind every time. And
Girl.
then Doja Cat got a career after showing feet to white supremacists. I don't know.
I thought that shit was gonna end her ass. Like,
Oh, this is it for me. I was thinking, oh yeah, no, she weird. Like, if anything, she weird. If anything. So, yeah.
So we got another question from Erica J. This is a kind of a long one. Erica J said, not really a question, but comment. It's really important to note that fat bodies face discrimination almost every setting in society, from the classroom to arenas and restaurants. The amount of anxiety that I've experienced overseating has caused me to stay at home on multiple occasions. I've jammed myself into a seat because I had to stay there through a mandatory meeting at work to the point where I'm bruised for days after. Oh my gosh. People don't understand that once you pass the realm of acceptable fat person, people don't view you as human. You're just a fat body. I love to chime in more on this, Erica J. I definitely feel this comment. I've heard this before where, and I used to work at a restaurant, and, you know, I've seen servers kind of like a person, and then they would make comments and like, well, they need to lose some weight. They don't need to be like,
Hmm.
you can easily just accommodate them.
Easily.
I
Yeah. Yeah. I
try to
read
put
that and I was
power
just
over them.
like, yeah. It, yeah, and I think it's also about just keeping fat people out the public. Like, we don't want to see you, so you don't belong here. That's at least how I see it. I see it as a pushing out. Like she said, she doesn't go out because of the anxiety of not having a place to sit. That keeps you out of the public. So we're like, we don't, we're like, a sore to the public eye. They don't want to see us. They don't want to see us living life in public. They don't want us engaging in school and work. Like,
And
it's
it's
not
been,
okay. And she's right. I think there needs to be a bigger push for fat people who are super fat and infinity fat. Your activism should not stop at small to mid fat. Like, that makes no sense, especially when the most marginalized are super fat and infinity fat.
mhm.
Like, they should be able to live their life. And like you said, accommodations, do it. Why not? Why should I have to lose weight to fit into public seating? Like, public seating, that makes no sense.
And spending
And instead
time.
of getting mad at them, yeah, get mad at the job, get mad at the airport, get mad at the school for not doing it, because that's their job to be accommodating. It's not my job to accommodate my body for the public. So yeah, I think that's messed up, and honestly, I'm really sorry for that, because I read that too and it touched me.
Yeah, I think I'm having a similar experience where I just moved to. Um, I don't know if it's just my like insecurities or how I just feel like they're looking at me. Like when I'm
Yeah.
getting in the elevator to get it, and I feel
Mhm.
like they're just saying almost like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like,
Right.
what are you doing here?
Mhm.
I guess black folks, but all of them are very thin. Um,
Right.
I've seen probably like two fat folks, but a lot of this people that stay in here are like very thin. They go to the gym a lot. And
Mhm.
I think the most triggering I've ever been is when I went to LA. Oh my God. And
I could never.
they said, well, you can move I said, hell no. Like I had a friend was trying to get me to go to the damn walk up the canyon. I was like, I don't want to wake up at no fucking 7 o'clock in the morning and walk up the canyon.
The
I
West
can go
Coast
for
is
some
not.
waffles and some bacon and some goddamn eggs or some breakfast or something. I don't get
I've
excited
already
about
accepted.
this
The
shit.
West Coast is not for me. I will do the East Coast. I will do the South, Midwest. With that West Coast lifestyle, not for me. I
That's where I
no,
feel
like
like
you
I'm at
said,
now. Like I feel
you
like
can't even let your dog out without a coyote. No.
girl, them folks, is this a fat nigga on the elevator? Like, you better take the goddamn.
I would never. I could just imagine that in like Miami, like Florida
Oh
too.
yes.
I've
Oh yeah.
heard like.
You know what? Matter of fact, when shit get open back up and we get ready out of this panorama, I'm definitely gonna take my fat ass to Florida. And belly around at the new beach and make the girls. Cause I just noticing like I see it now. I really be seeing it.
Mhm.
And it's hard having a conversation with non-fat folks because they just really don't. It's like, oh no, you just ain't nobody. I said, no, girl.
They
I know.
looking.
I know.
Yeah.
Like I've been living in this fat body for a minute, sis.
Mhm.
You can't
They
tell me
look.
shit at this point.
I think the worst time I feel it is like in classrooms. When I walk into a classroom, like that first day of any class, I walk in, they like, where's she gonna sit? Like, what's she doing here? Like, what? Yeah, I feel that. Or Yeah, like elevators. Cause then like let the elevators be next to the steps and then people be looking at you like you should be taking the steps. Like
Or don't. And some folks, I remember having a conversation with Deshaun, and it was just we were talking about just like making sure we don't breathe hard, like
Oh my.
making sure like that. And I remember doing that around my mother or like
Mm-hmm.
friends. Like if I walk up some steps or some shit, and it's just
If you're
like
on the phone and I'm like
ordering
on mute.
food at the
Oh my.
drive-thru. Oh, I literally have to mute when I'm just like, girl, wrap up this conversation because I'm finna get these chicken nuggets.
I'm about to say, let me be hungry. I'm like, can I get and I be feel insecure about that. It'd be a whole and I'm like, ooh, I know they like, who is this? I'm like, I'm just high. Look, I just
That was me at Taco Bell today. I said, let me get the nacho fries.
you need
I want the number 8 and I want an extra Dorito taco and I want to try this damn midnight
listen.
berry shit y'all got. Give me
They
all
got
of
the
that
cinnamon
shit.
buns. They
And you
got the
better
little
not
cinnamon
ask,
bun thing. Yeah.
and you better not ask, is it all for you? Do I need 2 separate bags? One fucking house.
Yeah, this is one order.
And you know what? I've kind of started to kind of pop off on like folks sometimes, especially my mama, because I don't cook that much. I kind of eat out a lot. And then she kind of finds a way to, well, you that's because when I got sick last week, she thought it came from me eating out. I said, Mama, it would like they recalling fucking kale, romaine, romaine, like it doesn't matter
Yeah.
getting this shit from down the street. All of this shit
Right.
is has problems. The U.S. federal government is fucking us over when it comes to inspecting our food, and
We
we're
in a pandemic. I'm just like, I got bigger fish to fry. Like, I just want my food and to go home.
no,
Like,
we cannot have that. They just like you don't need to be eating any. And I feel that like I really like. That's why I was nervous to even tell her that I got sick last week because I didn't
mm-hmm.
want her to some way finding a way to have to deal with like, oh, it's because you
Yeah.
fat. And I was just like, no, they said my blood pressure was fine. Everything was fine. I'm HIV positive. All of that
Mm-hmm.
was fine. I just got sick. And I'm not even
Right.
allowed to get
To
sick.
be sick.
I'm not
Right. Because
allowed
it's like,
to.
you're not allowed to be healthy. You're not allowed to be sick. You're not even, like, fat people not even allowed to die. Somebody can be 100 years old and fat, and they be like, that's because they was fat. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
she was
I'm
100.
out of here.
Grandma Moses was 100. I'm sorry. Could it just be?
Can I live? Can I fucking live? So
Like,
I,
yeah, it's like you just, yeah, like I'm hyper aware of like this space I take in, especially when I'm new to that space. I'm just like, live, like, oh, okay, let me try not to make no noise. Let me try to squeeze into this chair. Let me not, be too
and
loud. Like you said,
losing
breathe.
yourself and harming yourself at the expense of
Hmm.
others. So when we
Yeah.
talk about fat phobia, this is what we are talking about because this is some shit I've never heard anybody else have to deal with.
Mm-mm.
But your shit
Like
is
she said, yeah, like they said, I don't say she, I'm sorry. Like they said, even like them sitting in that chair and like having like marks that I'm sure they sat there because if they would have said something like, hey, this chair's too tight, they would have been saying, oh, well, that's on you. So even like you said, stuff like that, just withstanding like just literal pain at a job, just because they won't accommodate you. No, yeah.
okay. So we're gonna get to our last question or statement. Kendall Valcourt. I'd like to know how can we as creators make more well-rounded fat black female characters without relying on toxic fat phobic stereotypes. I personally love characters like Dejanay of the Proud Family, but the messaging coding used her, around I think her or here, is disgusting. What can we call for slash advocate for when it comes to the entertainment we want to see? And maybe how can we go about doing this? Sorry if this was long. Looking forward to the video. We love to see it. So it was kind of a long one. I guess
Okay, that's a long one.
it's a long one. So I guess they're just asking, is it a better way to do characters like Dejanay? What can we clean up with a character like Dejanay on the Proud Family?
I guess seeing them more as they are. Like I said, stop seeing them as the sassy, fat Black friends. Because even I can go into Dejanay. You know, how does Dejanay feel about her family? You know, she got a bunch of brothers and sisters. What about her mother and father? Like, you know, how long they've been married? Like, who is Dejanay outside of Penny? Or even like we saw with Kim. We saw who Kim was without Moesha. Ooh, hold on. I'm not gonna just do it. Okay, yeah, we saw who Kim was without Moesha, you know, and like even Kelly. Who is Kelly outside of those friends? We don't even know who Kelly is inside of the friends. Shoot,
Only
and
thing
they
I know
had
about Kelly, she got
plenty of time.
her little cooch play with white folks with waffles. That's all I know. I mean, it was good to see.
Yeah,
It's just like they thought that was liberating. Like, oh my gosh, a fat woman experience. But I have not seen Kelly go on no date. All I see is her
nope.
saying, "Hey, Miss Parker," type of shit. Like, hey,
Yeah,
and it's just like
yep.
chasing men.
Mhm.
Are they interested on her, or is she like? Is it the same situation with Monique
Right,
was on the
right.
show? Like, she chasing men that are
Mhm.
not interested in her. Like,
What is this? Right. And let's stop projecting the idea that we just sit around. It's predatory. Like we just preying on people. Like, ooh, I'm gonna make you love me. I'm not doing that.
ooh,
Like, I'm not doing that. Like, as if we just sitting around trying to force thin people to love us. I am not.
no,
I am okay. No. So I think that too. It's just like stop seeing them as people. As the same way you see thin characters. We share the same feeling as thin people. We get sad. We get happy. We feel pleasure. We feel pain. Like we are complex beings just as they are. And again, who are they outside of them being this supporting character, this mammy, and whoever else they need them to these thinner, lighter characters? You know, like who are they? I even would have liked to see Kelly and Tiffany. Is that her name on the show?
which Kelly and Tiffany. Okay, yeah, because they were real close.
Kelly.
They were closer than Issa and Molly.
Yeah, right. And that
Tiffany
whole
was the
stuff with
pregnant
Tiffany
one, the
having
one who had a baby.
postpartum and everything. Yeah, that was a perfect thing to like. I get they're not like the main characters, but they could have worked on that storyline more, and it could have been parallel to Issa and Molly's relationship. Like both of their
Mhm.
relationships turning into something different now because they're both at different like stages in their life, but they didn't take that chance to do that. So that's what kind of irritates me more. It's like I like there is potential here, and you guys choose not to do it, even if Kelly is written by the person playing her, that doesn't mean they can't perpetuate those stereotypes and those tropes because it's easy to do.
Yeah,
It's just something you fall into because it's how our entertainment is literally built just from like I said, I think I did a when I did a presentation at the Fat Conference this summer, even from like the birth of a nation, like it's just that it's just written in like I guess stone that fat black women are always these like nurturers, carers, these mammies, and that's always how it's been in entertainment. And so I think it's hard to get that trope out, and it's hard to even write against that because that's just what we see and what we've been taught. But you have to push that, and you have to question that, and you have to just see fat people for who they are, and see them as individuals whole enough without someone thin and without having to nurture or care for someone. Just see me as me and see that character as who they are.
I I definitely wholeheartedly agree because having friends, I feel myself sometimes playing this role of being the caretaker, like even on social media, where random people who I do not know will literally DM me, um, like I need some help. I'm just like, why do you feel so comfortable coming to me?
Yeah.
I'm seeing y'all interact with other folks who are not fat.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all hopping in their messages and asking for these things? Or you automatically
Right.
assume that
That I'm gonna do it.
oh, I'm supposed to take care of you? And sometimes on my fault, I would do this just to be seen. I will
Mm-hmm.
offer help and caretaking just to be seen
Mm-hmm.
as a person, be like, Justin is always this person that I can depend on. It's just like, I just want to be seen. I just want
Mm-hmm.
people to see me as more than just this. And it's very hard. I have to tell myself, like, I can't keep allowing myself to get caught up in that.
Yeah. Same. Same. Because even just outside, like friends, like family with me or with my love life, yeah, same. And it's like it's a pushback for me to like slowly be like, I don't have to take care of this. I like that's not my job. Like I can do it if I feel like I have the capacity to do it, but it's not my job. Like I'm not nobody's mammy, and I have to push that because again, I've been socialized to feel like that, to feel like, I'm here to nurture and care for everybody and anybody who, whatever, no matter how they treat me. But that's not okay. Yeah, I think my friends have been like seeing that in a way and have been doing better. Like, okay, I'm not about to just be dumping on you. On social media, definitely. I think I have more of a problem with it with non-black people doing that to me,
Hmm.
like more so in the comments. Like I'll post something about fat phobia, just something, and some people, usually like non-black fat people, in my comments dumping, and it's like I value y'all experience and I hear you, but sometimes I'm not where I am to just see so much of just trauma and just I just can't do it sometimes. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think in the space I'm in, I more so get this mammy role pushed on me in like fat pod spaces or body positive spaces. So that I've been pushing back because they losing their
Yes.
mind.
Literally.
Yeah.
It even just messaging, it'd be like, "Oh, is this fat phobic?" I'm just like, "Girl, I'm not the fat police. I'm not the, the police." And like, I don't need to see. I was literally following someone who would do that. They were experiencing fat phobia, which was wrong, but they were
Mhm.
sending it to me, and I'm just like, sis, I cannot get up every morning and deal with this.
And
This is
see
like
it.
draining for me. I deal
Mhm.
with it enough on YouTube. Like, I don't even look at comments.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
when I upload a video, that's just it.
Listen, I was afraid. I was like, if Grapevine put this on YouTube, I was like, I'm gonna just I'm gonna just be gone for a minute.
You're
Like,
gonna have to take a break for like
I was just prepared. That night, my heart was bumping because I just went off. And then I was like, oh man, if they put that on YouTube, I don't even know what's about to happen. So yeah, like social media is not a safe space. You either getting attacked or getting dumped on for no reason.
for no reason. But you know what? Now that I think about it, I can tell within the first 20 minutes of that conversation, I said, this video is not going on YouTube. So for those who are watching Patreon, we did a video, like full disclosure, with Grapevine about fat phobia. They did not air it for whatever reason. They said it might have been a sound issue or whatever. But it just goes to let you know, like when we are even asked to do things, like there needs to be safety measures put in place to protect us, because the comment section on Grapevine is ferocious. And you talking about fat phobia, the conversation that has never really been had on this platform before. So it's just like, this is something new. So we were
Mm.
going against some folks who did not have any range other than just going to the gym and
I
eating
was
water.
like, one of them said they just work at a gym. I think you guys who work at the gym.
That's it. That's
Listen,
like,
I remember because I saw them and I said, "Oh, I can say right now that one right
oh yes,
there."
as soon as I saw the face, I said, I was literally on the phone messaging to Sean, like, girl.
I know. Look, because it was so funny. I wish I had this video because it was so funny. Because I'm like seeing like the screen, like I'm seeing you cracking up, like just laughing and like on mute. Like, yeah, this is a mess. Like, oh, so
Especially,
bad.
there was one person that kept, me and Deshaun had a good cackle, who they kept making themselves like I'm fat and I don't like myself. And it was just like, sis,
Why are they here?
like, and this gym body man ain't gonna see you for shit. They not finna fuck you, love. They don't, like, if anything, they gonna be charging you more to get in the gym with them.
Look, he he works at a gym. I don't have nothing else. That's my taste. Like, I was so upset, and I was like, "You niggas right there,
Oh yeah, you was going
you
in.
niggas."
You said, I've got something I'm gonna say. I really wanted to see that video at least on Patreon to see some
Listen,
of the comments.
I want to see something because, like you said, I think it's such a good example, and I was just like, it was a good example of how not. So, like,
And folks need to do a better job, like folks. And I love the Grapevine. I love Ashley. Y'all know this. Like, me and Ashley are cool. But it's just like, when we were talking and have these discussions, we got to do a better job. And that's one of the things. When I knew Sid was coming, I was like, look, we're gonna be respectful. Da 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 da. And that's gonna be it. You can
right,
get blocked. Like, I've had conversations about, transphobia on my platforms and other things. And the moment those comments get, I turn them off.
Right, right. I'm like, right. What's your safety plan here? Because it's gonna need a safety plan because I was gonna be getting death threats. Like I sat there and was like, black people got a problem with fat folks. I'm just like telling people off, and I was like, oh, they gonna rip me apart. Even the stuff Deshaun said, I'm like, they gonna rip them apart. I was like, we about to get ate up. Like, no.
I was prepared for that. I was like, oh, girl, because it was just the conversation. I mean, it was. I just got tired of folks saying, well, y'all need to just lose some weight and things will be better. Just lose.
Like kids will go buy beans in the hood. I'm like, these kids ain't trying to eat that.
Oh, because I think the conversation was around Keke Palmer.
Keke Palmer.
Yes.
They was mad because I said she should shut up and mind her own food stamps. That's what that was. He was mad about that. But I was like, no, she needs to mind her own food stamps. I'm sorry.
And I literally was like, okay, if we're talking about folks who are living in poverty, people who are poor, I think the last thing they're worried about is getting organic fruit and vegetables. I think they want to get out of the place that they are in. I don't think food is the number one priority, even if you're trying to quote unquote do something. But I don't think that's the number one priority for them. I think like, hey, just get me out of poverty. But no, you want to police.
Here, a girl right now, mama on food stamps. Like, listen to my mama on food stamps. You buy food and you try to just feed the family as much as you can, no matter how you can. If that means we eat spaghetti for the whole week, we eat spaghetti. And you know what? I'm sorry that, it might not have no vegetables in it. It might just be some noodles, meat, and sauce. And you know what? That is what it is because it's what we have access to. And that is okay. So it was just weird that they were just like, oh, we got to teach these kids how to eat. Like, who said black people don't know how to eat? Black people been feeding themselves forever. Like, who never said black people don't know how to, like, nourish themselves? That's not the truth. We don't have access to. Period. Like, let's be honest here. We don't have access to. Y'all be talking about, oh, they can go to Whole Foods. I ain't trying to go to Whole Foods. Like, Whole Foods.
And we just had a whole conversation about how uncomfortable fat folks feel in public. So y'all won't even let me go to the gym. Y'all taking gym and recording me.
Y'all better call my man who's over there. He was trainer.
And Whole Foods is high as fuck. Like I shop at Whole Foods every other month or something, but that's not no place. It's giving Kroger, it's giving Publix, but Whole Foods, no, it's not giving.
I'm trying to be a Save-A-Lot. I'm not trying to be a.
Come on, Aldi. My mama love Aldi.
Oh, my grandma love Aldi. I got that popcorn from Aldi. I'm like, okay, it's popcorn, girl. All these shoppers love some Aldi's. I don't know what that is.
My grandma would be. No. I was just like, girl, they don't give y'all no bags here.
And you gotta put a quarter. They like that old school stuff. I'm not. Like, give me my bag, give me my free card.
At the very least. But see, I enjoyed this conversation with you so much. Oh my gosh,
I'm excited, and I saw about your YouTube announcement about being nominated top creators.
Oh yes, the YouTube Creators Fund. Yes, thank you so much.
I was like, oh my god.
Yes,
I was so happy for you.
Yes, thank you so much.
That is so big. Yeah.
They reached out to me back in I think it was like October. Like my YouTube manager reached out. She's like, they got a program. You need to apply. And I said, girl, I ain't getting that shit. They're not gonna get my ass. I'll be dragging the shit out of white folks. They ain't give it. Applied, and they said, girl, we got you. So with this grant that they're giving me, I am going to be using that to giving it back to folks who like creating content. Like that is my goal for this year, is take this money and invest it in other Black creators and bring them on and pay them for their time. So you are the first person on this platform to be able to work with me, and also I really appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
Yes, because I've been a fan. I've been a fan.
This would not be your next one.
Yeah, I've been a fan. I think my friend Crystal, I don't know what happened. I think you named me like a while ago on your YouTube page. Like I made a
video.
Like, oh yeah. My friend Crystal, she's like, can you name you like this? I'm like, what? I just walked out. I'm like, huh? She's like, can you send you on his face? I'm like, okay. And I'm like, going through YouTube. But yes, I love you. I love you all. I love In the Middle. I love your page.
Oh, thank you. I'm actually doing an interview with T tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yes, we're gonna be talking about some things and getting some stuff. I'm just like, cause the first 2 weeks of this month for me have been hell. Like
Yeah.
I took a break the first week of January, then I got sick, and then I was in the process of moving, and then the people like
Hmm.
my lease was up Thursday, and these folks didn't have my apartment ready,
Oh, yeah, no.
and I'm just like, are y'all doing this to me because I'm black or like what?
Because
Like y'all would do no white woman
if this
like
check
this.
not ready, y'all gonna be upset.
Yes,
So,
I'm just like I said, my lease because when I signed when I applied, I said, hey, I need to move in this apartment by the 12th. So they said, oh, we're gonna have it ready. Girl, they telling me it's gonna be Friday. I said, you now know I have to extend my what's the name at this apartment,
right.
which means they finna tax me, and I can't keep telling these movers Thursday, no Friday. I
Hmm.
said because if I change it again, they can't guarantee these times because everybody's
Right.
moving in Jan. I mean, in on a Friday and a Saturday on the
Yep.
weekend and stuff. So I'm just like, y'all stressing me out. And I really think that was the cause to put me in the emergency room last week. I really think
Wow.
stress.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yes,
Yeah. I was like, let me message them. I hope they okay.
I
I was like,
appreciate it.
you know.
I appreciate that. I said no. I was drinking my Gatorade. I said I'm not gonna reschedule with Steve. I'm gonna get hydrated. It's not giving reschedule. I want to go ahead and get this done. But yes, I definitely
Okay.
appreciate this. I definitely want to bring you on more for more conversations and stuff. And
Thank
maybe
you.
Deshaun too. Maybe we'll have that true conversation that we missed on what's the name. So thank you so
Okay.
much,
Thank
Sid, for
you.
coming and being a part of this. I enjoyed this so much. We will definitely have you on here next time to talk about
Okay.
some
Thank
things. We
you.
know you got a lot going on, child, but we're gonna wish
Yes.
you well. Enjoy your Friday, and we will talk to you
Thank
later,
you.
boo.
Bye.
Bye.